What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another edition of the Young Guns podcast. Running a little late today. Apologize for that. I had a lot of stuff going on right now. Adulting and stuff like that. Got a couple things I had to fix up. Then I had to hurry up and try to make myself some dinner. Mozzarella sticks for the win. You know what I'm saying? But what's going on, everybody? We're waiting for Kush. Don't know what's going on with that. We'll probably give him a call later. But hey, I'm always late to Young Guns. Gotta cut my man some slack. So, what's up, everybody in the chat? If you guys are here, LGZ, Big Blue Jay, what's up, everybody? If you guys are here, make yourself known in the chat. Let me talk about some New York Giants, Minnesota Vikings, the rematch. All right, we back at it for the rematch. Kings of the North about to take him down. What's going on, everybody? Man, I don't really know what to say when nobody's here. I'm just here, so I'm just gonna talk for the pre-recorded people, the people that watch this. It's crazy to me because I have a hard time listening to myself sometimes, right? I got a hard time replaying back my own videos and watching live streams and stuff like that. But there's a lot of you guys that watch this like during the day, like watch our live streams during the day. And I feel that's like, I don't know, man. I like that. I appreciate that a lot. So, oh damn, my dog's out here whining. But what's up, guys? And who's in here? Who's who's in here? Let me put the tweet out that we live. Let me put the tweet out that we live. Hold on. Let me put the tweet out that we live. Where the hell is my link? Ooh, that's loud. Hold up. There we go. There we go. A little bit, man, a little bit. Usually, I don't know if the algorithm's not hitting today or what. I'm waiting for Kush too. We're about to do a live call on him. See what's up. About to do a live call for Kush. But I'm here, man. I didn't want to wait any longer because I was late myself because I was eating. I was cooking up and I was eating, so I apologize for that. But just in case it is anything serious, I'm gonna mute it real quick. But I am calling Kush. So we heard back from Kush. I apologize everybody for the late delay. We heard back from Kush. I had to mute the mic just in case something happened, man. I don't know, Kush is never this late or anything like that. But you got text. But we're good. We're good. What's going on, Cookie Monster? Bro, the YouTube gods don't like me, bro. I swear. Can you guys hear me? The YouTube gods don't like me, bro. I swear. I'm back. I'm back. And for whatever reason, my whole Wi-Fi just shut down, including on my phone too. But what's going on, everybody? My bad, guys. My bad. I don't know what's going on. But if you guys didn't hear me, Kush should be joining us soon. He's going up and finishing dinner. I muted the mic on the call just in case something serious, but it's all good. We hear. Can't hear me? I can hear and see. Okay, cool. All right, dude. Guys, I don't know what's going on. This is supposed to be our playoff. This is supposed to be our playoff stream, and I don't know what the hell's going on. Freaking Wi-Fi is acting up and everything, bro. What's good, man? Oh, now I don't hear you. What's going on now? Yo, YouTube is hating me today, bro. Nelson, you can hear. There's no way you can hear Kush. There we go. I hear you a little bit now. Hear it talk again. Now I don't hear you again. I can hear you like plugging in your mic. I can hear the fuzziness of you plugging in your mic. Uh-oh. Yo, StreamYard. I don't know if it's StreamYard or what. Yo, guys. We can't make this up. I can hear you, Kush, not KB, not Kush. Yeah, I know. That he's working on it now.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, I need to get a new
Oh, I got a faulty wire? No, it just cut out again. You gotta love it, guys.
That's crazy.
There we go. I hear you now. Oh. No, now I don't hear you again. Why did he blow the damn thing like that? What? My God. I don't hear. I just hear fuzziness. I apologize, everybody. I hear like fuzziness. I don't know if you can turn on the stream. Tell him to get rid of that mic. It's probably his wiring, his XLR wire. Yeah, every time you move that wire, oh, I hear you. I hear you. Don't move.
You do?
Yes.
All right, but like, I have an extra wire in these situations. Like, I have a backup. I should probably switch it either way.
That man is prepared.
Bro, if you guys were to see this entire drawer that I have here, it's all my audio stuff. It's my my DAC box with some extra stuff.
Hey.
It's my actual mic box with extra stuff.
Literally 2 seconds ago, my stream cut off because of my Wi-Fi like shut down. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on today. Like, the YouTube guys don't want us to stream.
So right now the mic is fine, but somebody remind me at the end of the stream to change this out, because I gotta rerun the wiring behind the computer.
Oh gosh.
And if it goes out again during the stream, I'll change it back. But I'm surprised by that. It's never really gave out before. I was asking, how did this man start early? Like, why did you start early?
I thought we started at 9.
We went back to 9:30 for like a whole month.
I thought we went to 9:30 for Ash because he usually can only show up at 9:30. That's why.
We did whatchamacallit for like a whole month. So I was like, we back to 9:30. We talked about this behind the scenes too, and we were like, yeah, we can move back to 9:30 because we got time now. Did you forget that?
Yeah.
This guy, bro. This guy. Who is this guy?
Tell me how I was late too, because even though I put it for 9, I'm late because I was eating. And I was like,
yeah.
I was like, damn, I'm going to be late. So I pushed it back to 9:15, and then I wound up starting around like 9:22, 9:23. Please
continue working, Mike. I swear to God. Because I need to reset it to its actual height. All right, chat. How do I sound to y'all? Is there any fuzziness? Y'all got to let me know.
You're good.
But,
you're good.
Yo, I was hoping to God I was clutching it out, because when my friends got me this microphone, which is an XLR microphone, and the audio interface, which converts it from analog to digital, they didn't know if it came with its own cable. So they actually ordered an extra cable for me just in case. So now I have the backup if everything, you know what I'm saying. I never thought I'd need to use the extra cable, but It's there. It's there just in case.
We're
All
all good now. We're all good now. I don't know. Listen, guys. I'm so sorry, everybody. You know what? Just because of the whole debacle that happened with my Wi-Fi and the wiring, and I'm late and all that stuff, we gotta roll back the intro. All right, everybody. Welcome in. Now we start the stream. So everything else before, that never happened. All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another edition of the Young Guns podcast. This is supposed to be a hyped up podcast. This is the first New York Giants playoff Young Guns episode, bro. First time we get to talk about this. Every time we're in this situation, every year in January, we're talking draft. We're talking free agency. We're talking is Daniel Jones a
We're
guy?
talking other teams in the playoffs, bro.
Exactly.
Like,
So
I can't. I remember we were talking probably about Joey Burrow and the Bengals this time last year. I don't know.
Exactly. So we gotta be hyped for this episode. Extremely excited to get into it. There's a lot to talk about, especially going against what probably our most favorite opponent to go against like this in the playoffs in the NFC is the Minnesota Vikings. I don't think anybody else we would kind of want to face. Maybe the Bucks, but Minnesota is probably the team that we want right now because we competed with them early on in the season. We feel like we could beat them again. But Kush, what's going on, bro? I see you wearing a little bit of the Vikings colors. What are you doing? What are you doing? Is that Hunter?
It's my college shirt.
Ah,
Yeah,
the
we
purple?
our mascot
You're an
is the Hawks, the Hunter Hawks.
Hawkeye.
But like
purple.
there's some type of weird like warrior as well. It's not a Viking, but we used to have like I don't know if at one point they had a different mascot, but currently it's a hawk. And yo, mascots, they have mad acrobatic skill, bro. I didn't realize that until before I went to college. I was like,
Bro,
these dudes are athletic. Like it
the
makes no
NBA
sense.
ones, bro, the NBA ones are doing trampoline freaking dunks and stuff like that, flips and all that. It's
Yeah.
crazy, and they have like there's no sight at all, no field of vision at all. But
But yo, shout out to everybody in the chat. We got Cletus
okay.
Nelson,
Yep.
Big Blue J, Cookie Monster, AA. Logan was in here earlier, guys. As you come in, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button if you're new. But most importantly, because YouTube be hating, hit that share button. All right,
Share.
hit that share button. We need
Algorithm may be screwing us
all
today.
Giants
But
fans in here, man. All Giants fans in here. I've been lucky because even though my videos haven't been doing well, which is my fault because I haven't been able to upload consistently. Well, I can't even say my fault because it's just no time.
right.
YouTube has been kind to the live streams, and I'm knocking on wood before I say that, and they hear it. They're like, "Oh, you still getting viewers?" Nah, bro, not anymore. But guys, make sure you hit that share button. Oh, Baruch Bearcats. My sister went to Baruch. That's their mascot, the Bearcats. What animal is that even?
What's a bear cat?
I don't know what a bear cat is. Either choose one or the other, a bear or a cat. Don't what?
I thought bears were like most like closely associated with dogs.
Yeah, they are actually.
So how
do you know that?
Cat?
Why do you know that?
I went to school.
That's not something taught in school, bro. Stop it. That's something you learn off a YouTube video or a random trivia card or something. Okay.
Well,
anyway,
man, when you go down a YouTube rabbit hole, bro, it's like you get a lot of knowledge.
Back to the topic at hand. It's the first time the New York Football Giants are in the playoffs since 2016. That's 5 seasons, but 6 years. Absolutely. No, it's 6 seasons and 6 years, I think. 6 seasons, 6 years. All right. Last time we were in the playoffs, it was a 2016 season, 2017 year. We got eliminated by Green Bay in the year 2017. Oh my God, that was terrible. I cried myself to sleep that night. But that's neither here nor there. Sophomore in high school, now I'm about to graduate college. We have a completely different quarterback. We have a star running back, and we have a coach of the year candidate that deserves a little bit more praise. But I don't know. What we're gonna hit first?
I want to touch on the minor nitty gritty stuff, and then we'll talk about the actual playoff stuff because I feel like that's something we could talk about for the whole show. So I want to get to the smaller stuff. First, we signed James Robinson. There were some talks that the Giants are looking for a wide receiver help just for insurance plans. They worked out James
We did
Washington.
end up signing him, I think, right?
Yeah, we wound up signing him, and then there was another guy that we wound up looking at, but we didn't pull through. It was another slot receiver. I can't remember his name, but there was two receivers that we looked at. James Washington wound up being the guy that we signed. I like James Washington out of Oklahoma State. I'm mostly noticing when he played with Mason Rudolph when I watched Mason Rudolph on film, but then he went to the Steelers, had an all right career at the Steelers, and did nothing with the Cowboys. So, um, you know, I mean, talk about this signing. In my opinion, I don't think he's gonna see the field at all. I think he's literally only there that if Richie James goes down, they have some slot receiver to throw out there. They don't have to they don't have to force Darius Slayton to play the slot or force Hodgins to play the slot. So, I mean, give your take on it.
Um, James Washington, I don't know that much about him when he was with the Steelers. What kind of receiver was he really?
He's a slot guy. He's a burner downfield. He's a faster, deep threat. Yeah, that's pretty much
So
all
he
he was
can
known for in college.
I was gonna say he can be placed on the outside then in that case.
Yeah, but he's mostly like a smaller slot guy. But yeah, he can be placed on the outside. He was just when he was at
The
Oklahoma
reason
State, he was just
Well, first of all,
deep
we did
bombs.
sign him. I don't know. I will be thoroughly surprised if he gets a lot of snaps or significant amount of snaps at
He's on the
all
practice squad though.
on
He's
Sunday.
big.
Yeah, like I was saying, I'd be thoroughly surprised if he gets significant amount of snaps this Sunday against the Vikings. Mostly because it's like just way too short for him to pick up the playbook. You know, you could throw him out there
Right.
for a couple of routes.
Especially for the
Um,
playoffs.
yeah, and I said this with Kenny Galladay as well because last night in Just Chillin', there was a good amount of the topic that people were talking about was of course the Kenny Galladay touchdown. The first one, of course, this man's first touchdown as a Giant is probably his last touchdown as a Giant, and it will probably be his last regular season game as a Giant with the last offensive snap for the Giants
God
this year.
damn.
Only Kenny Galladay, but it became a topic because people were like, "Yo, Brian Dable went by him. It looked like they had a little bit of a moment." And then they saw that Kenny was moved back up for the first time, I think, since like week 5 to wide receiver 1 in the depth chart, which I still don't know why the Giants did that, but officially he's moved back up to wide receiver 1 in the depth chart. And so they're like, is he going to get snaps? And I'm going to say the same thing for James Washington, what James Washington I did for Galladay. While Galladay knows the playbook, neither of them have chemistry with Daniel Jones. Like, it's way better and safer to just move with the three guys who's been helping this offense over the month and a half. So that's Darius Slayton, that's Richie James, that's Isaiah Hodgins. He has a connection with those guys, and they know the playbook the best out of any of those receivers in that locker room. Not saying don't use Washington at all. Throw him in there if you can for a couple plays and whatnot. Definitely utilize his speed. Maybe use his speed as a decoy to actually get Darius open because Darius has managed to get open a few times. But yeah.
Yeah, am I all good by the way? Because I know I lagged out. For a second.
You froze up for a second. Yeah, you're good though.
All right, cool. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what's going on, but yeah. So, in my opinion, like I said, just to put it tie it up in a bow, James Washington to me, I don't know where he's going to be utilized. I agree with you that we could probably use him on some clear outs here and there. But he's not a guy that you're going to throw out there for any significant snaps because obviously you're going to be using the best plays that you have in your playbook, and these are going to be plays that everyone practiced for all year, and it's going to be just too tough for him to pick it up, especially for a playoff hunt. So, there were some other news as well. We had Dexter Lawrence show up as first team All-Pro by PFF
Officially.
and first team All not officially, not yet. And the AP
No,
is
Dexter
official.
Lawrence was in PFF. I think Dexter Lawrence was the actual first team All-Pro, wasn't he?
There's no, they didn't come up with actual All-Pro yet. There was one by the Player Association, NFLPA. Then
Okay,
they had
maybe that's the one I
PFF
saw Dexter on. I know Dexter was on PFF because Andrew was also on PFF, but there was one Dexter was on that Andrew wasn't on, so maybe it was the Players Association one.
Yeah, that was NFLPA one. That was Trent Williams, I believe, that got the left tackle nod.
Yeah, even though Trent played like 12 games or something this year.
Did he? I thought he played all of them. But
wasn't Trent injured for like 5 games? Yo, chat, correct me if I'm wrong. I swear this man was injured.
He's been on top
good
for a
chunk of the
long,
season.
and maybe the beginning of the season, but he's been like ever since. He's been awesome.
I feel like he should play most of the season to get consideration. That's just me though.
Yeah, play all the season, 100% is that. But yeah, so that's in other news. We're still waiting on the AP. I don't know when those come out. That's the official one. I don't know when it comes out. But I like that the NFLPA, gave some recognition to Dexter Lawrence on both, and PFF's one too. And you know what's crazy? By PFF, he's the third ranked left tackle by PFF, but they still put him on first team All-Pro.
Yeah, Trent Williams on top. Christian Darrisaw, number 2. Isn't Darrisaw a rookie or a second-year player?
Second-year guy.
Second year
Second year
guy,
guy.
Christian Darrisaw. Then it's Andrew Thomas. I am still so surprised by Christian Darrisaw, man. Like, props to him.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
so
man.
surprised. He's going to be an incredible tackle for years to come. Then Caleb McGarry of the Falcons at 4.
What the
Colton Miller of the Raiders at 5. And that's
what?
like your top 5.
I'm sorry. When they drafted Caleb McGarry, I think that was 2018, 2019. I was like, what the hell? Who the hell is Caleb
Everybody
McGarry?
had that. Everybody had that
And now he's
reaction.
balling. Congrats to him. Colton
I mean,
Miller
it took
too.
it took like 4 or 5 years, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey, probably they saw something in him. Apparently, the new regime did. So there's that news. There's also I'm trying to remember if there's any other news that you want to talk about real quick. If not, we'll move
Mike
on.
Kafka getting called for head
Oh
coaching
yeah,
jobs.
my Kafka Wink so far hasn't been called for an interview, which is weird. But you know what? I'm okay with it.
Because they see the flaws more. It's easier to see the flaws with Wink, and like I said, I've been somebody that's called out Kafka when he's had bad games, and he has. But at the end of the day, as a first-year offensive coordinator, he's been a complete success, and really he showed his genius with how he evolved the offense from week 1 to week 18, and that's what people are looking at. That he was managed to change it up. He managed to make it successful in the pass game as well as the run game, and it took just 1 year. So that's what is the potential.
It's also worth noting that he comes from Andy Reid's tree, so that's something to look at too. So, that being said, let's move on to our first topic. I just want to get out the way because I know everybody's gonna talk about it. So let's do it.
Goes long to the near side. Hopkins wide open inside the 35-yard line. Throws on the run back of the end zone. Caught Hopkins. Did he get in bounds? He did. Touchdown Cardinals. Little slant to Hopkins. Hopkins with a spin move toward the end zone. Dives. Touchdown Arizona.
Why is this a topic? Why is this a topic?
Well, I wanted to get it out the way real quick to talk about it because like Giants Twitter was like going good. All the spaces like that. DeAndre Hopkins was the freaking topic, and then it branched off to should the Giants trade for a receiver? So we talked about it a little bit on your stream a little bit. So I'm not even getting into the rant, but just want to see what the chat also wants to think about this as well. DeAndre Hopkins has been I guess on the trade block. Is going to be on the trade block when the new offseason hits in March. So now we're going to be talking about, possible trades with the Giants, stuff like that. Where do you, just to set the record straight, where do you see yourself in this whole trade thing going on, especially with DeAndre Hopkins, but maybe in general?
So to set the record straight, as you said, I'll start off with I would absolutely love if we could get DeAndre Hopkins on this team because he's a top 5 receiver in the NFL, and at his height, he is the best receiver in the NFL, no question. Definitely the best hands, catch radius. Like I don't feel like anybody needs to explain why DeAndre Hopkins is a top receiver in the NFL. I would love to have him on the New York Giants, but the reality situation is it's not really a realistic thing to think about. Even though I would love for it to happen, it probably isn't going to happen, and it isn't necessarily a smart decision for it to happen because of his contract situation. He's going to be making $24 million of this upcoming season, and even more after that. So I'd rather not do that. Now, what I will say is some people are completely crazy. I literally saw somebody say DeAndre Hopkins is Kenny Golladay 2.0, and I'm like, what gives Giants fans the right to disrespect somebody that's going to be a Hall of Famer? Like DeAndre Hopkins is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Y'all need to stop with this.
Can I mention something real quick about Kenny Golladay? Today I went back and looked at his stats, and I said, how the hell did we pay this guy $20 million? He had one good season. One. He had 2,000-yard seasons. One of them was pedestrian. The other one, he had 1,100 yards and 12 touchdowns. Like, that's good. The other one was just like, okay, you don't get $20 million, $72 million deal. I don't know what we did there. That boggles my mind to me. And in hindsight, I hate it. Obviously everybody was happy when we signed Kenny Golladay. We thought we were going to make a little bit of a push, compete a little bit. That was not the case. And that Kenny Golladay signing was god awful. So I was looking back at his resume, and I'm like, yo, that is not a $20 million receiver. But if you look at DeAndre Hopkins, his resume speaks for itself. I mean,
he's a Hall of Fame. Like,
he's a Hall of Famer.
That comment got me really mad. I'm like, who is this 12-year-old? It's got to be.
Yeah,
that doesn't know who DeAndre Hopkins is.
There's no way you watched DeAndre Hopkins and said that he's gonna turn out the same.
There's no way you've seen his career, and I don't think it's a coincidence that both D Hop and JJ were on Houston, and now they're on the Cardinals. And there's also people saying that J.J. Watt is overrated because now that he's retiring. And I'm like, y'all are brainless, bro.
They just don't watch back in the days football. Like
It's not even back in the day, KB.
Well, no, J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt is like his prime.
It's not even back in the day. It's like 2010 to like 2014.
There's a lot of young fans out there, bro. They're like 12. They're like when they were born, J.J. Watt was in his like, you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of.
Was the excuse for D-Hop?
I don't know.
You could argue is still in his prime. You could argue
maybe
that.
it's because nobody cares about the Texans and they don't watch the Texans. And but D-Hop is a beast.
He still is. He just has Kyler Murray at quarterback right now, bro. Of course. He has the COD addicted player at quarterback.
You know what's crazy? Kenny Galladay, nobody knew what it was like for him to go to another team. We've already seen that from DeAndre Hopkins. He has just as much production. And think about it. He's had like guys like Brian Hoyer and Brock Osweiler back with the Texans. He's had garbage.
I've said it before. If Terry McLaurin continues the way he is, he's the next D-Hop because he's doing the same thing. D-Hop has better hands than the catch radius, but Terry McLaurin is on this. This man has had trash at quarterback for a long time, and all he does is produce.
That's a good comparison. There's always going to be a guy that's going to be producing no matter what, no matter who's at quarterback. And man, now you want it. Ryan Mallett. You guys remember Ryan Mallett? Oh my God, he went to the Texans. DeAndre
His
Hopkins.
Last name is Mallett, bro.
Bro, DeAndre Hopkins dealt with poverty at the quarterback position with Houston, but
they had that dude in 2016 when they made the playoffs. He was the quarterback for the Broncos, and then he went to the Texans.
Osweiler. Bro, yeah. Osweiler, Brandon Weeden, Brian Hoyer, Ryan Mallett, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Like, okay, listen, it might not be realistic, and it's definitely not the smart move to get D-Hop, but like disrespect for no reason is crazy to me. Yeah. Especially to somebody that's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I don't understand it. But to wrap it up, guys, I would probably pass on this. His contract's just he's due $30 million next year. There's no way we could fit that.
And y'all know how me and KB feel about wide receiver free agents too, at least from earlier in the year. If not, I'll quickly restate it. It's something that I'm gonna take a little bit more credit for, KB, because I've been saying it for a minute now. I'm treating the wide receiver position like I'm treating the running back position. I've been saying that for almost 2 full years now. Mm-hmm. Everybody says you could draft the running back in the mid rounds. You can draft the wide receiver anywhere from round 1 all the way down to round 4, and they could be a number 1. Does it mean you're guaranteed? Of course not. But you'll always find some type of talent. You see it year in and year out. Wide receiver talent is always, always, always there and always plenty in the NFL draft. Start drafting these wide receivers the way teams are treating to draft running backs. So you don't necessarily got to pay the big bucks to them.
Good point. So, all right, let's move on from this topic and let's get onto it.
On it back, am I right? Giants in Minnesota again, playoff sequel, rematch of what is at least a Game of the Year nominee.
From 61, and he has done it again! And the Vikings do it again! And a new Christmas hero in Minneapolis, Greg Joseph.
The Vikings sit on top of the throne of the North. And the Giants, coming from the east side, are making their way up north to take that throne in the rematch.
We're also technically in the northern half of the country.
So Northeast. We're in the Northeast. But they're in the cold Arctic of Minnesota. We coming. We on our way. The rematch, Giants versus Vikings. Like I said in the beginning of the stream, I said this is probably the best opponent, probably the opponent we wanted the most out of the NFC, and we got them here in the wild card. Talk about this matchup, man. How are you feeling about this? Obviously, we faced them last couple weeks ago. We lost by, a field goal that was ridiculous, just a Giants fashion way of losing, but we looked like a good team going against them. We missed out on a lot of opportunities, of course, and we had some turnovers. But how do you feel about this game coming into it?
I'm going to give you a reenactment from the future.
Oh, go ahead.
This is going to be me at around 7:30 p.m. on Sunday afternoon.
Okay. Hey.
That purple pack.
Oh, God. Oh, man. He's smoking the perp.
Vikings pack. Listen. People call me crazy for what I said on my show last night. They really did. I said, if the New York Giants beat the Minnesota Vikings, we're winning the Super Bowl. All right? We're plus 5,500 odds to win the Super Bowl, by the way. I actually took that bet because it's like, if I lose, I put 100. Just so you know, I would get 5,500 back if it goes down.
You put $100
Listen, but this is a dude. Like, I never
Respect,
do anything
bro.
like
Hey,
that. I
bro,
never do.
respect.
Listen. But hear me out, though. Hear me out.
Bro.
Hear me out. I never do DraftKings or FanDuel or anything like that. It's literally the only time I've done it.
Yeah,
I'm like, you know what? I'll take this one chance, and it's gonna be a hit. Like, of course, it's gonna be a major hit if I lose, but the cash out.
Yeah,
Yo, listen.
Hey,
Hold up.
bro. Let me tell you right now.
Oh, go ahead. Then I'll actually get back to this Vikings rematch.
No, what did you bet for them to win it or go to the Super Bowl?
To win it.
Bro, I hope we win. Obviously, because as a Giants fan, I hope we win. But I want to see you make that money, bro. I want to see
you. Can you imagine?
Bro, I want to see that 5 racks like this. Next stream, you get it? Just freaking have somebody throw the freaking money on you, bro. Oh my god. Bro,
listen,
this man put 100. That's a Giants fan right there, bro.
Hey. I know. I don't know if I might have said this on stream before, but my cousin, he knows somebody that back in 2007, before the season started, he put down like 1,000 on the Giants to win it all before the season started. And obviously that cash out was huge. That cash out was like hundreds of thousands of dollars because he put it all the way before the season started, right? But yo, Cookie, listen, I'm not gonna tell nobody what to do with their bread and their paper. But
right,
with this Vikings rematch, obviously you guys could tell just by that alone. I didn't bring that up for no reason. I am very confident, and you could definitely say I'm too confident in this Vikings rematch. But it took 2 dropped interceptions, a 61-yard field goal, 7 calls, our offense just like collapsing a little bit, our defense not being able to stop Jefferson. It took so much for the Vikings to win by 1 singular point against us the last time we faced them. And we are healthier now with Adoree Jackson back. I am very confident that we could walk into Minnesota and we could come out with a win. I think we match up great with our defensive line versus their offensive line. We know for sure they're out of their right tackle. Their center, Garrett Bradbury, might be back for this game. Even if he is back, I don't think he's going to be fully healthy, and he's going to have to go up against Dexter Lawrence, who, whether he gets it or not, is deserving of an All-Pro this year. At his position, 3rd in the NFL in sacks at the nose tackle position. Not alone that, you got Kayvon Thibodeaux going up against the backup right tackle. If we get Aziz back, and you guys know I'm a huge fan of Aziz.
We should.
But Aziz literally in 6 games had 5 sacks. That's basically a sack a game. 5.5. That's basically a sack a game. Like, he's going to get a sack if he comes back and he plays in the playoff game. And, of course, don't even count out the big cat, Leo. And Gerard Davis, he's not anything anybody's going to write home about, but we actually found the best middle linebacker of the year late in the year. So I'm happy to see that happen as well. And then you go to the offensive side where the line is clicking a bit more. And as you guys have seen, Daniel Jones is able to pass, and this is a weak Vikings secondary. We just match up so well against Minnesota. And another thing to keep note of, remember, that was a 1 o'clock game on Christmas Eve where Kirk Cousins almost gave us 2 donations. 2 freshly baked.
He's in his prime at 1 p.m.
2 freshly baked apple turnovers, exactly. And he's playing at 4:30. When this man plays any other slot other than 1 p.m., I don't think they have a winning record. Or maybe it's barely above 500. Go ahead, though.
We got this. So yeah, you mentioned some names. You mentioned Azeez Ojulari potentially coming back. You mentioned Kayvon Thibodeaux going against that right tackle as well. But there's a name we're missing out on, and someone gave us a little hint of who's coming back. Let's get into it.
We just going out there and playing and trying to get a win.
Xavier, we know you'll be back. Do you envision Adoree being out there with you on Sunday?
He's going to be there. He's going to be there for sure. Yeah, he's going to be there. When you
Adoree Jackson, who hasn't played in weeks. We desperately missed this man.
You didn't you bring it up last night? He still might not play.
I don't know.
Somebody
Like,
brought it up in my stream last night. They're like, yo, he still might not play. It's still not confirmed if he's back yet. And he was supposed to be back against the Colts. It's getting kind of worrying.
hey, bro, but Xavier McKinney said it today. That's from today.
Got you.
He said he gonna be back. He gonna be there. So I think Adoree Jackson's back. I think McKinney let the cat out the bag by accident because I think the Giants were kind of pulling a little Bill Belichick and not letting anybody know that Adoree's coming back. And I think kind of Xavier McKinney kind of let it out the bag a little bit. But I feel like Adoree's coming back in this game. If anything, they can't be like, oh, we don't want to rush Adoree back. Bro, this is the playoffs. This is the moment you want to wait to let somebody play. If check this out. I think the Giants, you mentioned that, hey, he probably should have been back versus the Colts. I think the Giants were like, hey, listen, I don't know if we're going to win or lose this game, but I think we match up well. We're facing up against Nick Foles and, whatever. Adoree, sit the rest of this season out, and we're going to evaluate for the playoffs. And I think he's back. He was a limited participant. So was Aziz. They back in action. Adoree coming back would be so huge. Like, he's not like a freaking top 5 corner or anything like that, right? Let's not pretend that that's the case. But he's a big part of our defense, and it's a lot better than putting a Nick McLeod out there or Darius Williams or even Cordell Flott, who's been having some
respect on Cordell Flott.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
so
been having
mad
his moments.
that me and Diggy are the only people that had respect for this man before his game.
All right. We are not getting into that whole Eagles thing, okay? I gave him his props, and I'll leave it at that. He needs to do something in a real game, that wasn't an actual game. That was a preseason game. Like
that wasn't a real game?
To me, that we only played a 16 game
The Eagles were struggling to beat our backup. Stop it.
To me, oh God, don't even get into this talking point. I don't want to get into it, man. You think Nick Sirianni was like, yo, we need up tempo against this man Davis Webb because he's gonna light us up.
They did. They wouldn't have gone up 22-9 if they didn't. They wouldn't have gone over that score if they didn't.
Well, because they're facing up against third stringers, man. No, they beat our starters 48-20.
We are a different team now.
Oh
we are a changed team.
We are a changed team.
We are a
going
different.
Eagles.
Listen,
what up, Taj?
We're a different animal, but the same beast. All right, a different animal, but the same beast. Kobe Bryant. You know. That's what we are right now. And what number does Daniel Jones wears?
8.
Kobe Bryant. All right.
8. Who wears 24 for us? Anybody?
Who wears 24 on our team? Actually,
Dane Belton. Dane Belton.
You know what number the man who had his second interception against the Eagles wears? Kobe Bryant.
Oh, he had an interception against the Eagles the first time? No.
His second interception was against the Eagles.
I thought you said his second interception against the Eagles.
Oh my God.
That's what you said.
Guy.
Hey, Jay in the building. He said, hey, yo, KB, you want to tell us why the Saints are your second favorite team? Because their beat reporter is probably one of the most beautiful girls on earth, bro. I love her. Anyway. What? What?
All right, I don't know if you have a topic for this, but did you see Nick Gates calling?
What's
and
that
I think this is a bad look by Nick Gates. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I didn't like that he did this.
I forgot to make a topic on it, and I know exactly what you're gonna
where
get to.
he said that the Vikings crowd wasn't loud, and then he called them too nice.
Bro,
I'm like, Nick Gates, I got your autograph. I have a picture from you. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan. But that's stupid. Why would you ever do that before a playoff game against a team? Do you know, like, motivation is a real thing, guys.
Exactly.
Motivation is a legitimate thing. It can push a team, like, to do the impossible. It could push a team past their limits. You know what this is exactly like? What this reminds me of? The boat trip. Because the boat trip told everybody that the Giants wide receiving core did not take the Green Bay Packers seriously. Nick Gates is saying he doesn't take the Vikings and the Vikings fans seriously.
I hope he's by himself.
And I don't care if anybody tells me it's a stretch. It's just too much alike, especially since the last time we were in the playoffs was like the boat trip thing. So why would you, as a sane football player, Nick Gates, say that?
Against the NFC North opponent too. Nonetheless, against the NFC
North
opponent.
Go ahead. What do you give your thoughts on it?
I thought it was a terrible look. As soon as I heard the quote, I was like, God. I mean, I know Nick Gates is a trash. It's what he is. Like, he's the trash talker. He's the guy that kind of is the rah-rah guy of the offense, and he's the scrappy dude.
I don't
but,
care if you're the trash talker. You're the center.
Right.
You're not supposed to give out quotes like that. Who do you think
Right.
you are? You're not the quarterback.
Exactly. And I don't. It doesn't matter who you are. I don't think you like. If you were like a star corner, right? Honestly, the word that came out of his mouth is something I would think like Richard Sherman would say or Jalen Ramsey would say, right? That's something that they would say, and they have the confidence to do so. They're one of the best to ever play the
And
game.
they're that type of corner. Like they're talkative corners.
and they're island guys. Like pretty much the only thing you need to worry, but they only need to worry about themselves. You're on the offensive line where you have 4 other teammates that you need to be like incongruent with, and I think that's a terrible look. I think. If you wanted to give a team motivation to beat you off of one quote, that's the quote you give. Like, and he has to think of it from the mindset. I'm pretty sure he's motivated from things that other teams say about us, about the Giants. You're telling me that you don't think that the crowd's gonna be all hyped up, bro? Nick Gates. Nobody knows who this guy is besides Giants fans. Let's be real. He's not a household name in any means at all. Besides, like when he got injured and everybody would like recognize that he got injured, bro. Colin Cowherd. I think talked about it. Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless talked about it.
Yep.
I think Stephen A. Smith talked about it.
It got
It's
around in mainstream media.
It's all over. Everybody's talking about it from this insignificant offensive lineman. No disrespect. Nick Gates.
So anybody that thinks it's not getting back to the Vikings locker room, you're wrong. It's getting back there.
It's
there
already. I'm pretty sure it's there already, bro. When anything blows up from New York media, the whole world knows. It's nationwide, bro. So. Definitely Nick Gates screwed that one up there. And, you know, if anybody had like any, like, I don't know who's on the interior, who's going to be facing up against Nick Gates, but obviously you got some.
Isn't it Dalvin Tomlinson?
Yeah, Dalvin Tomlinson, the former New York Giant.
Yeah, it's Dalvin Tomlinson.
Dalvin Tomlinson, I think Zadarius Smith is playing with them, right? Come on, man.
Ooh, I forgot about Zadarius.
Zadarius Smith.
He was either injured or he had a quiet game against us. I don't know. Listen, I still have the Giants to win. Remember my reenactment of the future. But if we somehow lose, I guarantee you, one way or another,
I'm blaming the Gates.
The Vikings players are gonna make that quote be known. Mm-hmm. They're gonna say something like it was loud enough, wasn't it, or something like that.
Yeah.
They're gonna do something. That was very stupid. I really hated that.
Bro, honestly, if you wanted to make that quote, at least have home field advantage. Be like, oh yeah, the last time we played them, they weren't loud enough, but hey, they're coming to our stadium now. Like, obviously, then nobody's gonna care because you're not gonna see a lot of Vikings in MetLife. So that was just such a stupid thing to do, man. And it's like it's a wild card game, bro. Like, and of course, I'm saying it in a joking way. I'm not actually gonna blame the Gates if we lose, but you got to think a little part of that. If there is crowd interference, you got to think a part of that is because of Nick Gates. You know what I'm saying? Because what was that? I feel like there was another game where they were talking. The other team was talking, and then we got loud, and it caused the other team to kind of be. Well, it was the Panthers game. The Panthers game. We're facing up against Carolina. Carolina couldn't hear anything. Carolina, that was one of the biggest reasons Carolina lost that game is because they couldn't hear anything. Baker Mayfield couldn't get the call because we were so damn loud.
I wouldn't put it past US Bank Stadium, which is obviously the Viking stadium. They own it, right? I wouldn't put it past them to all of a sudden allow like stuff that makes your voice louder. You know what I'm saying? Like a megaphone or two.
Not the Falcons.
Stuff that makes more noise, you know what I'm saying? Like the loud whistles. Like, you know those in the classic when you watch highlights, you hear those loud whistles and stuff? I won't be surprised if they say, you know what? From 1 week, we going to allow it. We just going to allow y'all to enter with this. I'm just saying, man.
I hope they don't pull
like,
up
you got to
freaking
consider
Falcons.
all of this when you're going into the playoffs. You have to be the smartest football player you can be going into the playoffs, man.
Yeah, that's just not a good look, man. That's just not a good look. But AJ asks, do you guys think that the Odell video hurts him? This is the second altercation he has on the plane in like the span of like 2 months. So yeah, I
didn't see it, so you gotta explain it to me and then give your thoughts.
All right, so do you know what happened the last time?
Explain everything to me and then give your thoughts.
The first time, I think he was asked to leave the plane for some reason he got like attitude and stuff like that. Then he left the plane, whatever. This time it kind of escalated a little worse, and he's on camera, and it's such a bad look. Like nobody should be defending
Like,
him.
what did
bro.
he do? You tell me how it's a bad
Okay,
look.
so he was sitting like first class. Like, bro, they got I've never seen what first class looks like, and the plane looks crazy nice. But so he's sitting in this lounge area, and he's asked to, I guess, asked to buckle up. This wasn't on film, but this is like the kind of context. He was asked to buckle up for the flight. Apparently, he said no, and they said, "Oh, we're gonna have to ask you to leave."
Wasn't that what happened a couple months ago?
Yeah, bro, this happened again.
No,
Unless
I don't
this is
think
the
I don't
same-
think it's the same thing. I think I mean, I
Oh,
don't think
this
it's
is
two
a
different
one-
situations. I think it is just video of that situation.
Oh, it's just video of it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, if this happened twice, that's crazy. Okay, so this just happened once, and now the video comes out. Okay, so yeah, he was asked to leave. Apparently, he said that this wasn't on film. Apparently, he said no, and everybody had to leave the plane. I guess an older man. He's an old man. Like, there's no point of you talking up to this dude, but older man, I guess, looked at him, probably maybe said something under his breath, and Odell was just like calling him ugly, calling him fat, and like saying like fat jokes at him and stuff like that, and like saying all these expletives at him, and with like little kids there. There's a little kid, there's a little girl, right? That's probably her grandfather because she's right next to him. And he's just like yelling at him. He's like, I don't care if everybody gotta leave this plane. Like, it don't bother me. I'm about to go on a private jet when this is done. I'm like, bro, you gotta be kidding me. And AJ asks if it hurts him being picked up by. He's not gonna get picked up by a team. Yeah, I know the whole video evidence thing like is always blown out of context because now there's video, you can actually put like a face to it. But yeah, this looks really bad, bro. This looks terrible. Like, he looks like a terrible human being in this freaking video, bro. And I'm not.
No, I mean,
I'm
the
not
way
a
you're
guy
describing it, it sounds like he's.
and I'm not a guy to
was a
jump to
terrible human being
conclusions.
in there.
I'm not a guy to jump to conclusions about people's character like this, but bro, this does not look good. And honestly, this doesn't even look like Odell. Like, Odell is a character, right? But he's like a silly guy. He's like, besides like Josh Norman, right? He's not a guy to really like, I guess, get hyped up like that and get riled up like that. He looked like annoyed, bro. He looked annoyed. Now it
A
didn't
lot
look
can
like,
change with a dude in like 4 years
yeah,
span, man.
and previously, like when the article came out, now that you mentioned that this may be just the same incident, it didn't look like he was sleeping. It didn't look like that. It looked like he was already awake. Then maybe, like I said, I don't know. He didn't look like he was like just getting woken up and boom, he had people in his face. I feel like they walked up to him calmly and he was already awake. So I don't know where that came from, but yeah, that is. Oh, I don't know. I would think twice about signing him. I would.
Yeah, that's definitely a really, really bad look. I don't think any team would really want that type of character and attitude. And I feel bad saying that because that's kind of what an over exaggeration of those words is what got him out of New York. But this is not an over exaggeration. Big Task says the Vikings are scared. I hope they are, and I think that we will beat them. But as we just discussed with the Nick Gates thing, they are 100% motivated. Also, I think we can all admit that we're a little bit scared. Everybody is picking the Giants to upset the Vikings. Like, literally everybody is picking the Giants to upset the Vikings.
I thought I was the only one until I saw it on Twitter.
You guys saw the picks, the usual weekly picks picture
NFL
with the
Network,
analysts. Yeah. And then you got even Brian Ballendigger saying that the Giants are gonna upset the Vikings, and it's just like, all right, it's getting out of hand. These dudes in Minnesota are definitely super motivated to come out now. But you guys know the real reason. We just perform better when we're underdogs. It's an unexplainable thing. Yeah, it got me a little nervous. Not the Vikings themselves. The fact that we're being picked got me nervous.
Yeah. Well, honestly, like you just said, it's not the Vikings themselves. It's just what got me worried is like, I'm not used to it. I mean, instead of worried, maybe worried is not the word. Maybe uncomfortable is the right word. I'm just a little uncomfortable about it because I'm not used to like everybody talking about, oh, I think the Giants are, like, I was watching a couple of YouTube videos where people, just regular YouTubers making videos and be like, yeah, I think the Giants could pull off this win. I don't think that, like, the Vikings like have had multiple 30-point games this season. And you think little old us is gonna win? Like all the masses think we're gonna win. I'm like, I like that. I feel a little weird about it. Like I'm used to having to, fight with Twitter and stuff like that and say, oh, keep doubting us and stuff like that, and then we win. And then obviously our two playoff runs most recently, our two most recent playoff, Super Bowl runs, we were doubted the entire way over there. So, yeah, that's just. I mean, I'm used to being doubted, especially as a Giants fan. So
Yeah,
I don't know how I
it's
feel
got
about
me
that.
nervous. AJ, I'm gonna ask you this. He says Super Bowl predictions.
Super Bowl predictions. And that's actually the next topic. It's kind of like playoff
So let's go
predictions.
into it.
Let's get into it.
Why
All
did
right.
you have to have the word super in there? You know what I'm saying? It's super wild card weekend now.
Super wild card weekend. But all right, so we can start off with the wild card. I mean, how you feel like this
Is there a way you could pull up exactly what you just showed, like a website of the
yeah,
brackets?
sure.
Pull up
Let me
that same one because that had a nice interface.
How can I? Yeah, you can talk while I figure this out.
Got you. Nelson says one round at a time. Yeah, that's what I intend to do, Nelson. We're gonna, talk a little in depth about the wild card round, and then we'll just kind of go all predictions from there. And when we get to divisional and conference championships, and eventually Super Bowl, AJ says I think Niners Chiefs. So rematch of 54 with the Niners winning. So this time Niners not only get revenge, but they get their 6th Lombardi, I think, right? Because the Niners, I think, have 5 Super Bowl championships, I want to say. Either 5th or 6th is what they're about to get, but
The Niners?
yeah.
I think the Niners have 5. If I'm not
Yeah, so if they win this year, it would be their 6th. Let's see here. It's gonna be Giants Bills, is what Ligma says. You stole my prediction, Ligma, but it's okay. We'll get back to it. It's literally gonna be a rematch of Super Bowl
Damn.
25. I want to say is the second one the Giants won.
How
Was
do
it
you
Super
put a
Bowl
picture up?
24 or 25? Just go to the website that the picture is from.
I know, but it's just like it's small on the
No,
on
but the
website.
website, like, isn't that a playoff predictor site?
No.
Oh, so then just pull up a playoff predictor site where you like could select.
Oh, good idea.
That's what I meant.
Playoff predictor. But you talking about the Super Bowl we won? Super Bowl 25?
Yeah, was it 25 against the Bills or 24?
25.
25. And the first one was 20, right? Or was it 21?
21 and 25.
Yeah. Y'all know what this means, by the way. When we win the Super Bowl this year, that means we're going to win the Super Bowl in the 2026 season as well. So, because we only win them in pairs.
Bro, I know. So if we win it this year, we gonna win it in the next 4 years.
All right, Urbanology 101 says the Giants barely make the playoffs and people think they will go to Super Bowl. You're not seeing the vision. That's all I can say, bro. Is it really taking you this long to pull it up?
Yeah, because this playoff predictor one is weird, bro. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put it up.
Got you.
I'm gonna put it up.
Come on, pearly whites.
All right, let's look at it. Can you see it? You guys can see it?
Yeah, you can see it. You might have to zoom in a little bit.
All right, I'm also gonna take off this this. All right, how do I zoom in?
That's not the playoffs, bro. Why is the Rams and stuff in there?
I put playoff picture. I put playoff predictor. It's not it.
You're in
Head
week
over
18.
to playoff bracket. See, this is weird. All right, so this is it right here. How do I zoom in?
You don't know how to zoom in on Google Chrome or whatever thing you're on?
No, man, I don't know how to zoom in on Google Chrome. How do you zoom in?
Try Control Plus.
Control plus. Ha! Ha! Look at that. I grow smarter every day. All right, so. All right.
Go ahead. You go first, and I'll go second.
Okay, so the whole bracket. Or
no,
just
do your wild card alone.
Okay, wild card alone.
And explain as you're picking. Start with
All
the
right.
AFC. So just go left to right.
All right, so let's go Chargers, Jaguars. I don't think there's much to talk about in this one. I think the Jaguars are a good story, and it's nice that they're the 4th seed and they won the AFC South after being like last in the division 4 years in a row. But I got to give it to Justin Herbert. Not only that I do it, I think he deserves it. I think the Chargers are just a better team right now. But shout out to the Jaguars. Anything can happen, but yeah. Moving on. This is not going to be as good of a game as people think it is because Lamar Jackson might not even play in this game.
Nobody thinks it's a good game. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well,
Everybody knows Lamar is out.
Yeah, Lamar is not going to play in it. He didn't show up to practice, and he's not going to. So, Bengals. Bills, Dolphins, another easy one. Skylar Thomas is their quarterback. Bills. So, the AFC is kind of easy. If you guys want to put money on any of these games, I guarantee you those games are the ones to put money on. Moving on.
Don't listen to Kid Blue for betting advice, guys.
Moving on. Bucks and Cowboys. Listen. The Cowboys are going to go one and done.
You use your head, not your heart.
I'm using my head. I'm taking the Bucks. Moving on, the Giants, Vikings, taking my G-man. We talked about this already. And this one is interesting because although the 49ers are like probably they are the better team. They are miles ahead of the Seahawks. Brock Purdy is a question because let's not pretend that this guy is like some amazing freaking, quarterback right now. He's just in a really good system. And it's always tougher for like newer kind of backup quarterbacks to succeed. Although it has happened, Dilfer and Foles, whatever. It's just like something's like not sitting right with me with Brock Purdy and going into the playoffs, and especially going against Seattle Seahawks. I'm gonna give them the win just so I don't sound crazy if they do win, and I would predict the 7 seed Seahawks to win. But I'm gonna take the Niners here. This is what mine looks like.
And that is what your divisional round matchup would look like. Bills, Bengals. Ooh, that's basically an AFC Championship game. Chargers, Chiefs, Giants, Eagles, Bucks, Niners. So just unselect everything so I could go.
Bet.
So I'll start with right to left. I'll start with Niners, Seahawks. I agree with you. I'm still going with the Niners, so you could select that. But I think it's going to be a closer game in the sense that like I could honestly see this being a shootout. I think we forget that Seattle's offense is a high-powered offense. They've dropped like 30, 35 plus several times this year, and that is what I think will keep them in the game. Like, as crazy as it sounds, obviously, beginning of the year, nobody thought they'd be saying this, but Geno Smith and the boys can get down and keep up with any other offense in the league. San Fran has an incredible defense, but Seattle, in fact, let me take a look. How have they done against San Francisco this year? Are they gonna show me Google?
I think they may have split.
So the last time they faced them, which was December 15th, the 49ers won 21-13. So even Seattle's defense did a good job of kind of keeping that offense down. And the first time they faced them, 49ers swept them. 49ers beat them even worse earlier in the year, 27-7. Okay, so these are lower scoring than I thought. I may have to retract my shootout game mentality here. I still feel like that can happen.
You still got Niners winning.
We're gonna go. Yeah, I still got Niners winning. Vikings, Giants. We already talked about that. I'm going with the G-men as well, barring Nick Gates' curse happening. Bucks, Cowboys. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. Dak Prescott has. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go with the Bucks. My bad.
Okay.
Dak Prescott has not looked good. Has honestly not looked good since he came back from injury. And some people even say even before he got injured, they're saying he hasn't looked the same since the playoff loss last year against San Francisco. I don't think that Dak Prescott, something's wrong with him, whether it's like physically health-wise or maybe it's just all mental, it's all in his head. It might be crazy to say, but I think Cooper Rush gives him a better chance because Cooper Rush is not going to turn over the football like Dak Prescott has turned over the football this year.
Damn, we got a Prescott hater over here.
That's cap. I like Dak Prescott, but this year,
man said Cooper Rush gives me the better chance,
especially in like the last 4 games, man.
Wow.
Like the Cowboys, they've already started to collapse even a little bit earlier than they usually do, like before the playoffs. And maybe we'll be proven wrong. Maybe they last until the divisional, but it's literally Dak is the weak point of that offense right now. He needs to get out of his own head. Like this is a prove-it game for him. This is a prove-it game to show that he was worth that big contract he got a couple years back, and to show that he could be somebody that takes them deep into the playoffs. Because as of right now, I think the deepest they've been is the divisional round. All right, let's go to Bills, Dolphins. Not too much to say there like you. It's going to be the Bills. Probably going to be a blowout win. Bengals, Ravens, same thing. Is going to be the Bengals. Probably a blowout win. And then here, I got the Jaguars winning, actually.
Ooh.
That would be my upset of the weekend, unless technically Buccaneers would be an upset as well against the Cowboys because they're the worst team. But
That one's more
Jags
shocking
is
right there.
yeah, Jags. They're like the actual upset of the of this right here. I think the Jags are hot coming into the playoffs. I think that Trevor Lawrence is better than Justin Fields.
Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert, yes, not Fields.
What?
I think Trevor Lawrence is better than Justin Herbert. Listen, I don't even think that's a crazy thing to say. Everybody thought Trevor Lawrence, like as prospects, they were better. So I don't know why it's so crazy for me to say as pros that he's better.
It's just Justin Herbert has done more. Like he's just.
Of course, with just one more year.
You're right. All right.
There's only a year difference.
You're right. And Herbert. And Lawrence did have a phenomenal year this year. He had a great year.
Like not only am I a big believer in Trevor Lawrence, but people don't realize how stupid of a head coach the Chargers head coach is.
True. Analytics.
Played them. Brandon Staley played them too much in that Week 18 game, and Joey Bosa got hurt. Joey Bosa is going to be banged up in this game.
Mike
He's
Williams.
not going to be FL and Mike Williams. So
right
they're
about
already
that.
down two of their biggest players on each side of the ball. And let's keep it real. Khalil Mack is going to be a Hall of Famer, but he's been basically non-existent this season. So Joey Bosa being down is a big hit, and Mike Williams is the best 50-50 ball catcher in the league right now. And at this point in his career, he's better than Keenan Allen. He's their number one, honestly. So you're going to be relying on Austin Eckler a lot, and you don't really got much of a front court in terms of the seven to get you anywhere. Plus, like I said, Brandon Staley's been known to make really, really stupid and questionable decisions over his past 2 years. Doug Peterson is a Super Bowl winning head coach. I'm gonna go with that, and the fact that I do prefer the quarterback matchup of Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, I saw him more. Shout out to the Knicks. But what do you? I don't know if I changed your mind or maybe I got you to say maybe on that one.
I'm just for the sake of argument, I'm gonna leave it at Chargers. But I feel like the buck stops with the Chiefs anyway because it doesn't matter. Because if I change it, they still face the Chiefs, and I still think the Chiefs are gonna win.
Yeah.
So,
Oh.
the only thing I'm changing here is that, and for my divisional matchup here, I'm gonna have this one is gonna be such a good game.
I think that is gonna be the best game we see all playoffs
I'm
until
gonna-
potentially the Super Bowl. I'm
gonna come back to this one. Let me think about this one. Let me start from the right. San Francisco versus the Bucks. I think the Bucks may be surprisingly competitive, but I think at the end of the day, San Francisco comes out on top because the Bucks are one of the worst teams running the ball. San Francisco is one of the best teams running the ball, and that is just such a bad matchup when it comes to time of possession and just controlling the clock and stuff like that. So I think the 49ers are going to win this one. And so Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, about to be real irrelevant going to the conference.
Say his full name, bro.
Brockald Purdy. That's his name. That's his full name right there.
Bro, sure.
You want to say his full name?
Nah, I can't, respectfully.
Respectfully. All right. So
use your head, not your heart.
How do I do this, man? It's
bro, just use your head, bro. Like nobody's gonna blame you.
I know, man, but I don't want to do it. Because in my head, I feel like when it comes to the playoff time, with Hurts being a little beat up, I feel like we compete, man. But I just don't want to put that bad mojo in the air and say we're gonna lose and we've actually faced the Eagles. And then, all right, man, we're just gonna do that. We're gonna do that, okay? We're not gonna talk about it.
It's tough.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about it. We're just gonna move past it.
It's like your dog died, man.
I know. It's just like, damn. Anyway,
it's like your dog died and you got robbed in the same night.
Oh my god, that's just a terrible day, bro. That's like John Wick.
Then it's a good comparison if it's a terrible day.
Bro,
shout out to Steve.
Then I would be John Wick, bro. Anyway, he's a dog died and I got robbed. Oh man. AFC Chiefs, Chargers. I feel like this would be a decent matchup, but Chiefs still on top. Bills, Bengals. Man,
I'm telling you, this is gonna be the best matchup we see all season long, all playoffs long, until we get a potentially really good Super Bowl matchup. And it was exactly that for the divisional round last year with the Bills versus the Chiefs.
Since this is a good game, I'm not going to expect this to be a hot take, but I have the Bengals winning against the Bills.
So that's a
Even
rematch.
though-
That's a rematch. What you call it, AFC Championship game.
Yeah, I strongly believe. Like in the beginning of the season, I thought the Bills were going to make the Super Bowl. There have been a lot of times this season where the Bills looked very human, very human. The Bengals
And
also,
Josh Allen in the red zone has been kind of on like there's been question marks. Not a lot of the time,
Yeah.
but like enough times for teams to say we can take advantage.
there's been a lot of times where the Bills looked a little bit. Like, most notably, the time they lost against Miami early on in the season, that was just terrible right there. I feel like you almost felt like they were falling apart a bit. I feel like they lost to another team that they shouldn't have lost to. But the Bengals started off slow. I think they started off 0-2. They've went 11-2 since then. Okay, they're on a crazy hot streak, and so I believe the Bengals deserve to make the conference championship. And I think this would be a great game. It's going to come down to the wires, but I think the Bengals come out on top. Your thoughts?
Well, I mean, let me do my
Yeah,
divisional
yours.
matchups, I
Mhm.
guess.
Go
Yeah.
ahead. So let me change it up. And go ahead.
So I guess I'll start from the AFC side this time.
Okay.
Yeah, Bengals versus Bills is gonna be tough, man. The Bengals, I think, are the 49ers of the AFC in terms of who's been the hottest team in their conference.
Mhm.
Like the 49ers for the NFC have won, I think they're the past 10 straight games, I want to say.
That's crazy.
The Bengals started off and everybody was like, the Super Bowl hangover is happening, and they were literally challenging for the number 1 seed just a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
And like you brought off, the Bills have looked a little bit human this year, but like I brought forward, I think if there's anything to take advantage of, it's in the red zone at times, not enough for like anybody to just say we could take advantage of, but enough for the great teams to take advantage of. At times, Josh Allen has been hit or miss. And you guys know I'm a huge Joe Burrow fan. I know it's the cool thing in the NFL to hate on Joe Burrow now, even though everybody loved him last year.
I love Joe Burrow.
Everybody loved Joe Burrow this time last year because he went on a Cinderella run. He was literally the MVP of the playoffs last year. But like all of a sudden, people hate Joe.
Bro.
Everybody hates Joe Shiesty now, bro. Joe Burr. Everybody hates him now.
Bro, Joe
But,
Burrow is gonna be the next Joe Namath, and not career wise. I think Joe Namath is one of the worst Hall of Fame quarterbacks of all time. But I think how his character, like that cool guy in the league, he's that guy, bro. I mean, how can you not like Joe Burrow? I don't understand.
But yeah, no, I'm gonna go with the Bengals as well, man.
All
I'm going
right,
with the Bengals.
all right. So I thought it would be a hot take, but hey, we're in agreement.
No, it is a hot take, bro. It's a very tough matchup to decide. A lot of money is gonna be made for people on that game. I'm telling you right now.
for sure, and a lot
Chiefs,
of maybe a lot of
Jaguars,
money lost
yeah.
too.
Chiefs, Jaguars, and I love this quarterback matchup. In fact, the entire AFC, with the exception of the Ravens, Dolphins, is great young quarterback matchups. Like unbelievably great young quarterback matchups. Not the time Trevor Lawrence. Maybe next year. Like that's how much I believe in him. Maybe next year, or on the long run, 2 years from now. But I believe maybe next year this is going to be an incredible matchup.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes here.
Like obviously, I don't think the Jaguars are a terrible team, but you're right. I guess you said it better than I could. I just don't think they're ready yet. So yeah.
Mhm. We go over to the divisional for the NFC side. Giants, Eagles. Unfortunately, what is probably going to be a blowout win. Like some crazy, like maybe not a blowout, like 38-20. Is that a blowout?
Yeah, it's 18
All
points.
right. In like 38-20, I got the Giants winning and advancing to the conference championship. So put that up there right now. Put it up
You
there.
bastard! You
Select
bastard!
the Giants. Select the
bastard!
Giants.
You bastard!
Select the Giants.
He convinced me like it's okay. It's okay. Just use your head.
It's still okay. It's still okay.
He
I'm
makes
not
me
hating
look like
on
the
you.
bad guy.
I'm not hating on you or
He
anything.
wants
It's
to
still
be
okay.
the guy. You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy.
The chat doesn't even agree with me. Cookie Monster's been against me all night long.
I know, but he was like, it's okay.
Did you just select the Eagles?
Oh, oops. Dude, I already know what's gonna happen in the game.
Kid Green. The Giants advance to the conference championship.
This man's gonna have us winning the Super Bowl, bro.
And
Put $100 down, bro. He said, I gotta get my money's worth.
Shout out to Steve once again, bro. And
Let him go.
in the other, yo, if Betts knows what's really going through my mind. In the other
Hold up.
NFC divisional championship game, I honestly don't think it's crazy to say that Brady advances to the NFC title game.
Yeah, you just want to face Brady.
Bro,
Yo,
bro,
you trying to kill
listen,
two birds with one stone.
Listen. I'm not picking him just yet, but hear out the reasoning for if he does. Since 2013, KB, I'm going to give you what Tom Brady did it in the postseason since 2013. 2013, lost in the Super Bowl. No, not lost in the Super Bowl. Didn't make the Super Bowl. 2014, won the Super Bowl. 2015, didn't make the Super Bowl. 2016, won the Super Bowl. 2017, didn't win the Super Bowl. 2018, won the Super Bowl. 2019 didn't win the Super Bowl. 2020 won the Super Bowl. Literally every other year for the past decade, he's won the Super Bowl. And guess what happened in 2021? He didn't win it. It's not out the realm of possibility that Tom Terrific somehow goes all the way again. All right? But I'm going to go with the 49ers. But I want to point that out because we have to acknowledge what a unicorn this dude is at sometimes, all right? All right, you could go ahead and switch Giants for Eagles and do your conference championships.
All right, so let's do this here.
Start with AFC.
Yeah, this is gonna be.
Is it a repeat of last year or what happened?
Game. Oh man, I gotta put my feelings aside, bro. Because, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I love watching the Bengals play, bro. I love watching Joe Burrow. I'm
sorry.
watching.
Pause. I'm sorry. Highlight Ligma's comment.
Oh, I'm not even looking at Ligma. Yeah, can I read it?
You better believe that the Giants were in the Super Bowl. I had you convinced on Twitter because I
don't believe what he said.
What I said with conviction, Ligma. Don't come in this chat after I gave you credit last night. You know what I'm saying? Talking about like the football talks we be having in the DMs, bro. And now you're gonna say you're not convinced anymore. With conviction,
bro, this
the
man
Giants
put money
win the Super
down,
Bowl,
Ligma. This man put
exactly.
money
You think
down,
I would do
bro.
that if I didn't believe it,
bro? This man put $100, bro. I mean, his payout would be crazy, but $100 is big. That's big, man. So, hey, I gotta believe the man. He believes the Giants are possibly gonna make the Super Bowl. So, it's crazy, bro. So,
you can get the comment off and
yeah, I can't wait to see your explanation for the conference championships. But all right, so Bengals Chiefs. How do I like? I love watching Joe Burrow play. I love watching Jamar Chase play. I love watching these guys play. Man. Also, this would be a freaking rematch of the DeMar Hamlin game, which would be interesting. Okay, so Chiefs, Bengals. Mahomes is on a tear this season. And I think oh my God. All right. I'm just gonna do it because I'm a fanboy of them this year. You know, I don't care. Even though the Chiefs are probably like Patrick Mahomes wants it again. He wants another ring. But the Bengals, after starting 0-2, have a New York Giants-like season where they start 0-2. They win 11 games, lose 2 games, make it to the Super Bowl again. Advance. Where's the Super Bowl this year?
Arizona.
Did they go to Arizona?
Shout out to Joe Burrow, man. That's the beginning of a GOAT career right there, bro. I'm just gonna put that out there.
I love me some Joe Burrow, but all right. So the NFC, let me be honest with you. I think this is gonna happen, and I want this to happen. I think the 49ers beat the Eagles. I just think
Super Bowl 23 rematch.
23.
Bengals versus 49ers with Super Bowl 23.
23? Oh, okay. Interesting. Now you know. But I feel like this is not to hate on the Eagles at all. Adam, if you're watching this,
they were one game away from a Super Bowl 23 rematch last year. It's just that the Rams came out on top.
Yeah, I there's nothing against the Eagles at all. Not anything biased. It is against the Eagles, but not anything like biased against the Eagles. I just feel like whatever the Eagles are good at, the Niners just do better. Like running the ball, the Eagles do well at. The Niners do it better. Defense, whatever the Eagles do, besides sacking the quarterback, because obviously they lead the league in sacks. The Eagles do like 70. That's insane. But everything else, like point differentials and like fourth quarter points and all these other things belong to the Niners. So I feel like the Niners are going to be the ones on top. The only thing I said is that Brock Purdy, the issue with Brock Purdy, and I don't know, bro, it will be such a Cinderella story for Brock Purdy to make the Super Bowl, bro, in his rookie year. Mr. Irrelevant. Like, and listen, Brock Purdy isn't that good. His stat line's okay. 13 touchdowns is great. Like, he almost matched Daniel Jones' touchdowns. Like, that's insane. 4 picks, I think 1,300 yards or something like that in total. I mean, pretty pedestrian as far as everything else besides the touchdown passes. So that leads to the Super Bowl. And real quick, I'll just put my Super Bowl up right now. Because it's only one game, and I'm just
Bro,
gonna
let me do my conference championship, bro.
Oh my god, go.
All right. Now put the Giants in the conference championship, Kid Green. Jesus. My God.
Oh my god, bro.
Can you this guy is no way he's not putting the Giants in the conference championship. Thank you. Let's start off with the obvious. All right? If the New York Giants can beat the Philadelphia Eagles in the divisional round, the Philadelphia Eagles, who like 99%
You better
of
convince me.
NFL fan bases, 99% of NFL fan bases and NFL GMs, just NFL people, the experts, consider from top to bottom the best and most complete team in the NFL. Am I wrong? No. Everybody considers the Eagles the best and most complete team, top to bottom, most talented in the NFL. Every position, quarterback, running back, offensive line, receiving core, tight end, defensive line, interior end, and the edge, linebackers. Don't get me started on cornerbacks and safety.
I feel like you're making a case for the
From
Niners
top
more than
to
the
bottom, the Philadelphia Eagles are that. If the Giants can beat them,
my god.
the 49ers are no competition.
I feel like you did not make any case at all for the Giants.
If the Giants can come over and overcome the Philadelphia Eagles, that means the
Rob, what's
San
good?
Fran 49ers are not nearly as tough of a matchup for them as the Philadelphia Eagles are. Because yes, San Fran, they might have been on a run and they may have been the hottest team entering the playoffs, but if the Giants win against the Vikings, I'm sorry, move over 49ers. They are the actual hottest team in the playoffs. They're on fire in the playoffs. And Brock Purdy is not taking that team to the Super Bowl. I'm sorry. I don't know what kind of drugs you might be on, but Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick in the draft, is not playing well for 3 playoff games in a row to go to the Super Bowl.
This man did everything.
Playoff games are different from regular season games.
Stop.
He is going to fall to the Giants, and the Giants are going to the Super Bowl. Click on New York right now.
Stop. Wait a second.
Click on New York before you go.
This
Just click on New
man
York.
did everything.
Can you click on New York?
No, listen.
No. Click on New York first. Thank you. Go ahead.
This man did everything, explained everything except the actual game that if the Giants faced the Niners. He said everything else except the actual game versus the Niners.
No. Oh my God.
He literally compared the depth charts
There's
of
no
the Eagles
way.
and Niners and said, hey, the Giants win. What the fuck?
Yo, all right. You're high. You might be high because you just... Did you graduate? Let me stop. Rob, what's up, man? How you doing? KB, he got a question for you. How long are you going? How much longer are you going?
I mean, we're pretty much out of topics besides this last topic, but
Yeah, like after this, I think we're gonna close it out.
let me depends how long we talking here, Rob. How long we talking?
We got like 10 minutes max.
We got like
But-
10 minutes.
While you swing that link to him, or let me get over to Bengals Chiefs. And Joey Burrow is my man, but I think Patrick Mahomes is gonna get revenge for last year. I think Patrick Mahomes, I think he's in his bag a little bit this year. He lost Tyreek Hill, and he had arguably a better season without him. He's been putting up numbers, and I think they win. Can you select the Chiefs for me?
I sent you a link, Rob.
Can you select the Chiefs
And
for me?
check Twitter.
Can you select the Chiefs for me?
Okay. Oh my god.
And let me just do my Super Bowl champion right here.
Yo, what the? No. Now you gotta wait.
All
Now you gotta wait.
right. Go ahead, Eagles fan. Go ahead.
All right. So, my Super Bowl matchup is gonna be the Bengals at the Niners.
Wait, real quick. Pop Robin after we give our Super Bowl matchups. Oh, you just popped
sorry.
him in. I'm sorry, Rob. Because I wanted to give our Super Bowl matchups and then you come on.
Hold on,
right,
Rob,
go ahead.
give me
Go
a
ahead.
second.
Make it quick.
Pop them in and then pop them out. We love you, bro. We love you, man. All right, real quick. The Bengals and Niners. Listen, I'm sorry. You are not going to tell me that Joey Burrow is going to lose to Brock Purdy. All right, I'm going to get biased in this.
So you can say that, but you can't say, you know
you
what?
You spent 5 minutes talking about the Eagles and Niners and nothing about the Giants, okay? I'm talking about these two quarterbacks, Brock Purdy and Joey B. All right, and Brock Purdy is good and all that. He got Christian McCaffrey. He's got Debo. He's got Ayuk. All right, but the Bengals, the Jamar Chase is all right, right? He's back up to health. T. Higgins is good. We got a strong running game with Mixon and P. Ryan, and we got Joey B. Okay, so I am going to take the Cincinnati freaking Bengals, but I think it will be close with the Niners. I think it will be very close.
Like I said, that would be a start to a GOAT career with Joe Burrow. Now put mine back up real quick.
All right, I'm gonna put yours back up. I'm gonna put this in full screen so I can screenshot it and then put it on Twitter. So boom, got the screenshot. All right, so
now put my matchup back. I'm gonna say it and then we'll pop it out.
I can't believe this. I cannot believe this. That's good, and it was what the
Chiefs,
and then Giants.
So
all right. When you listen, you can't run from this. You have to talk about both these teams. So go.
We have the inside man. We have Mike Kafka. He was Patrick Mahomes' quarterback coach. He was the coach that was the closest thing to Patrick Mahomes. All right? He's going to tell us all of his weaknesses. Plus, let's keep it real. Boo Schmidt-Schuster ain't doing nothing against us. All right? Adoree Jackson's going to lock that man up. Who else they got over there? I don't even know. The only person offensively we have to worry about is Jarrett McKinnon. And Gerard Davis about to knock him into another planet, bro. All right? But in all seriousness, if the Giants make it to the Super Bowl, I think they just become an unstoppable force type of team. It's so reminiscent. It's literally so reminiscent of 07, where they were an unstoppable force type of team because they made it so far.
Can I ask you a question?
And they're going to overcome the impossible, and they will beat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs 21-17.
How do you beat an unstoppable force?
Can you select the Giants, please?
Can
you please select the Giants, man? God,
I don't
want to do that hard
bro.
of a thing to do.
This feels weird, bro. Listen, I'm gonna ask a question. I'm gonna click it.
I will answer it if you select the Giants.
How do you become an unstoppable force, scoring 20 points a game? How?
That's the 2007 Giants stat. They scored 17 in the Super Bowl and they won.
No. I'm talking about
all right.
Their offense as a whole. Points per game.
Look at our points per game in the last month of the season.
Oh my God.
That's what our true points per game is.
One game.
Get Rob in here.
Points.
Get Rob in here and reset everything. First reset everything back down to the wild card. You got to reset everything.
I already know where he wants to go with this. He said stop, tag me in.
No. Reset everything. Rob has to give from wild card to whatchamacallit. Go ahead, Rob. And then we'll end it off.
Jesus Christ.
How you doing, Rob? How you doing, man? I'm sorry
KB, listen, it's good to see that you're not stuffing food down your throat while you're live on camera, whether it's fucking a bag of chips, or some salsa or some fucking Chick-fil-A or some shit or whatever.
Or McDonald's or something.
I noticed that every time Rob is here, I'm eating something.
Bro, you always be
mozzarella sticks.
You always be eating some, dog. Like, what the fuck? Listen. First and foremost, let me get in on this, okay? So,
Oh god.
And I'm gonna tell you why. First and foremost, go ahead and select.
I
Go
already
ahead
know
and
where he's
go ahead and select them Seattle Seahawks, please, because
All
right
right.
now
Oh wow.
the San
Okay.
Francisco 49ers are on a 10-game winning streak, and what I do feel is that Pete Carroll is going to have these guys ready. I know that Brandon Brooks is out, which is more than likely who would have been covering George Kittle. Very, very good linebacker. But I'm interested to see the Tariq Woolen versus Deebo Samuel matchup. I think Tariq Woolen will be able to go ahead and at least limit him a little bit. And I think that defense is going to be able to slow down a little bit of Christian McCaffrey. And I think that Brock Purdy, you can't beat a team. It's very, very hard to beat a team twice, let alone trying to beat them 3 times. I think that the Seattle Seahawks, as far as when it comes to Brock Purdy, I think these guys are playoff ready. They as far as their experience, they've got some guys on that roster that have been there. They got some veteran guys that have been there. And what I do like is I do like the offensive skill set of this team with Metcalf, with Tyler Lockett, Noah Fant. I think they'll be able to go ahead and get an upset done. So I'm going to pick Seattle over the San Francisco 49ers. Go ahead and click on those Bucks for me one time, because the Buccaneers are going to go ahead and upset the Dallas Cowboys. You got Carlton Davis, Dean on the outside, their physical corners, the wide receivers for the Dallas Cowboys. They do not play very well when they're going up against physical wide receivers, aka you saw it last week. Kendall Fuller is a pretty physical cornerback, got in their face, made some plays, pick 6, and Dak right now leads the NFL in interceptions in their own territory, and he missed 5 games this year. So the Dallas Cowboys will be going ahead and falling. I'm going to save our team for last. Go ahead and select the Buffalo Bills for me. They're going to be pummeling the Miami Dolphins 54
Yeah,
to 17.
there's no need for explanation there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and select the Bengals, and go ahead and select the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Trevor
Lawrence,
let's go, bro.
is going to go ahead.
I'm
That's going to
telling
be
you.
the game of the
Okay.
weekend. Other than the Giants game, I'm going to call it right now.
I don't know if you were in here from when I was talking about that, but I said the same thing.
34-27 Jacksonville Jaguars. It's
Okay.
going to be a very, very good game.
No,
But
sorry.
Trevor
I
Lawrence
also
is gonna
got
drive
a
him down the
parlay
field
on
to
Trevor.
score a
I'm not
touchdown.
gonna lie to you. I got a little parlay on Trevor.
Oh,
Now-
yeah. I'm at the betting man now.
Go ahead and select them New York Football Giants for me, okay? New York Giants, obviously, I like this matchup for a couple of reasons. One, you're going to get Xavier McKinney back, who didn't play in the first matchup. You're going to get Adoree Jackson back, who didn't play in the first matchup. And you're going to have Bradbury, who's questionable. He was limited in practice. I don't think that this guy's going to be fully healthy to go up against first team, all-pro defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence. Let's give it up for Dexter Lawrence making the first team All-Pro. He's going to have a field day in him. And with Aziz, who missed the entire he played the whole first quarter, but missed from the second quarter on. Aziz is going to be good to go, so he's going to be fully in this game. I don't believe Leo actually played in this game either. I think Leonard missed this game as well, so Leo is going to be playing
We're
in
going
this
to be
game.
cooking.
So you're going to have the 4 horsemen.
Oh,
The 4 horsemen are going to be going after Kirk Cousins, and he's going to be seeing stars. There's going to be snow angels. It's going to be the Undertaker on the cross. It's going to be everything. So we're going to go ahead and dominate the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be the tone setter of the game. Now,
Okay.
going into the divisional round, go ahead and select those Seattle Seahawks for me, because I think Seattle
Oh my
is going to go out
gosh.
there
Geno
and go into
Smith.
Hey, that would take
physical.
care of a lot for us, bro.
I think that Geno Smith is going to go into Philadelphia, and I think those Seattle Seahawks are going to be physical. Again, another matchup that I want to see. Tariq Woolen going up against A.J. Brown. I want to see this young, big, physical corner going up against this wide receiver. I think it's going to be a good matchup. I think they match each other physicality wise on the offensive and defensive line of the football. I
was going to say Seattle doesn't really have much of a pass rush though.
They don't really have much of a pass rush, but they're physical. So I don't think that the running game is going to be a big factor. That's going to be for when it comes down to the Eagles. Plus, I do not think that Jalen Hurts is really 100%. I think he's going to be favoring that shoulder a little bit. You saw him taking a little bit of slides last Sunday. I don't think he wants to get super, super physical, but all in all, I think it's going to be the defensive backs for the Seattle Seahawks that are going to be very, very surprising and are going to be playing these wide receivers pretty physically. I've got the Seattle Seahawks going to Philadelphia in the divisional round, upsetting the Eagles.
Ooh, man.
I've got the Buffalo Bills beating the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay.
Put those threes up one time for DeMar. They're going to be riding this DeMar Hamlin emotional ride. It's going to be pushing them through the playoffs. They're going to go ahead. It's going to be a very, very good game. Despite the fact of our game, I don't even think our game will be as exciting as watching that game. The magnitude of that game, they have unfinished business. They didn't finish the game on Monday Night Football. The game got called. There's unfinished business here. Their emotions are going to be high.
I'm not going to lie.
This is where everything happened.
That's a good point. I completely forgot about that. It slipped my mind. And honestly, I could see that propelling them forward over the Bengals.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's unfinished business here. You know, you got to think that the emotion that's going to be involved in this game, the semi-anger, right? Because obviously they don't hate each other, right? But this is where it all happened. And the Buffalo Bills are going to make sure that they get a second crack at this. They're going to go out there and they're going to take care of business. Now, go ahead and select the Jacksonville Jaguars to upset the Kansas City Chiefs.
What are we talking about?
I gotta disagree with that one.
In the divisional round, because here we're gonna go. It's gonna be teacher versus student. Doug Peterson versus his old protege and Andy Reid. And I think that this is a game where Doug Peterson is going to be pulling out all the stops to outperform his teacher, the guy who taught him everything that he knows. And I think that defense for Kansas City is not ready for what Trevor Lawrence is going to bring to the table. I think that these wide receivers like Christian Kirk and Zay Jones, who we had question marks about, have been very, very, very serviceable for them this year. But ultimately, what I think is going to be the downfall here is going to be the defense for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think is going to be able to get after. I see that this defense doing the exact same thing that the Bengals did last year to Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. If you remember that game, they were able to get after him. They were sacking him. They were throwing him off his game. He was not able to get settled in on the back part of that game, and it ended up costing them the game. And I think that Jacksonville is going to be able to go ahead and do the exact same thing with Josh Allen, with all of those number one guys that they got on the outside there. They're going to go ahead and they're going to get after Patrick Mahomes. It's going to be a very, very good game. Trevor and Patty, but I ultimately think that the Jaguars upset them. Go ahead and select those.
I gotta be honest with you, I disagree with that one, but go ahead.
That's completely fine. And listen, this is all predictions, right? It could be wrong, they could be right. Go ahead and select the New York Giants. The Giants will yet again. Okay,
we're
yet
setting
again.
The old man to retirement home,
we're gonna put a staple in Father Time and says no matter what team that you're on, when you play the New York Giants, it stops with us. You could be on the Patriots, the Raiders, the Packers. You could be anywhere. When you play the New York Giants in the postseason, it is over. It is done. It is over.
I would love that, honestly.
Now, we got ourselves a home game, boys. The New York Giants hosting the NFC Championship game. Go ahead and select those Buffalo Bills for me. Buffalo Bills, again, going to be riding that DeMar Hamlin.
I do want to say, if the Giants end up hosting the NFC Championship game, I will be
finding
a way to be there. I am finding a way to be there.
I already have a ticket that was told that I'm going to be purchasing it, but I already have somebody that has a ticket for me. Buffalo Bills are going to be riding that DeMar Hamlin train. They're going to be pushing this, and that is going to push them right into the Super Bowl. I think that stage, that game, at that point, in that moment, will be a little bit too big for Trevor Lawrence, but he's going to fight. It's going to be a very, very good game, but I think they're going to come up short. I say they lose by 2 touchdowns, 2 possessions in that game. By at least 14 points, they're going to lose that game. Go ahead and select revenge. The New York Giants are going to get home field revenge against the team that everybody was shitting. Richie James is going to score 2 touchdowns in that game for the 2 fumbles that he had, okay? He's going to get some fucking redemption, and they're going to go ahead and win that game at home. You thought we were done in New Jersey? We're hosting that game. And then we have a 1990 rematch between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Giants. Dable versus Allen. Teacher versus student. And the teacher always wins. The New York Giants.
Didn't you just say the student won a couple rounds ago though?
Yeah, but that had to do with
something else. Something else.
Yeah, this is totally something different. The New York Giants will be the 2023 Super Bowl champions over the Buffalo Bills, and little Josh Whiny Allen will walk his little ass right back down to Buffalo, crying, pouting, and Ken Dorsey will get his ass fucking fired because he fucking blew it big time. And Brian Daboll will be hosting that Lombardi Trophy at the parade with a big ass fucking cigar in his mouth. And Daniel Jones will get a 4 or 5 year deal, probably worth $150 million and shit like that. He'll be he's never smoked a cigar, but he'll fucking Dave just said, yo Daniel, come over here, Daniel, smoke a doobie with me, and he'll be smoking a cigar.
Yeah, I want to say 2 things.
It's gonna be awesomeness in New York.
So first off, Frankie got a huge point, and second off, Ligma is saying what I want to ask you. KB, what do you think about my predictions now? You saw what Ligma said?
Yeah, wait, there's no way. Wait, I honestly believe husband. He made Rob's prediction made Ligma a believer in Kush's predictions. Man, Rob's smoking that Vikings pack a lot. He's smoking that whole.
That's
Vikings.
I'm smoking them hundreds. You know,
there's some perps in there, bro, for real.
No, but on a real note, like talking about, like, let's just say if we were to go ahead and play the 49ers, right? Do I think that we're going to win that game? No. But do I give us a chance? Obviously, you always have a chance. I think the areas in that game where we could go ahead and try to take advantage of them, the line of scrimmage, up until the point of, to be honest with you, up until the point where, I don't know if you guys saw the tape, but Jared Davis really did an amazing job last week against Philadelphia, filling some holes, attacking. He actually hit the tight end that was coming in to block and knocked him into the running back and tackled and the tight end tackled the running back.
He did a good job filling gaps. Yeah,
he did a very good job filling gaps. But I also think that really opened up a lot of things for Micah McFadden, where you saw him flying around, being able to get to the ball, make some tackles, make some plays.
I like that.
So I think that really opened up a lot of things for Micah, being able to use his speed and his versatility. He's a good tackler. Like, Micah McFadden is a very, very good tackler. So when you have a guy that can fill those gaps, fill those assignments, I think Jared Davis would be an ace in a hole. So
are we saying this might be like a Super Bowl? What was it? Super Bowl 48 with the Seahawks, and they got Malcolm Smith became the Super Bowl MVP. So Micah McFadden is the Super Bowl MVP.
Well, I mean, I'm not going that far. I'm not gonna go that far.
We're riding this train. We go all the way to the last.
But I do feel that ways that you could take. Obviously, they got a very, very good pass rush, right? San Francisco does. They're able to get after the quarterback. I think you're going to see them play. If I had to guess, I would say that you could see them playing the 49ers similar to how you saw them go ahead and play the Washington Commanders the second time. A lot of quick passes, getting the ball out of Daniel's hands quickly, using playing the sidelines, trying to get Fred Warner. The thing that you got to do is you got to try to get Fred Warner. It's a little bit difficult, but you got to try to get him to play a little bit off easy a little bit. Don't let Fred get kind of settled into playing the middle linebacker position, because if he does, he could tear you up. Joey Bosa, he's going to have his hands full. Obviously, I like the matchup when he's lining up against Andrew Thomas, but when he's going ahead and lining up on that right side against Evan Neal is going to get absolutely destroyed. So I look for them to try to –
Nick Bosa.
Nick Bosa. Sorry, Nick Bosa. So now to be honest, also, that potentially could be a favorable matchup for Neil, right? Because Bosa is not an elusive guy. He's a powerful guy. He likes to bull rush you, which Evan Neal is a strong player. So that actually may favor, now that I'm thinking about it, that may favor into Evan Neal's skill set where he doesn't have to worry about, Nick getting outside of him. Not saying that Nick isn't an athletic guy, but Nick likes to just bull rush you. That's what Nick does. He's a physical pass rusher that can just bull rush you with one hand. That kind of fits into Evan Neal's skill set because Evan Neal is a pretty physical player himself. So that's the example you should have given, Hub, when you were talking about the 49ers game.
Yeah, we should have actually been talking about the game. But all right, so that's a show. That's a show, guys. Rob, appreciate you coming in here, giving your input on just putting the cherry on top of these Super Bowl predictions.
And proving that I had good predictions.
You're still outlandish, but there's always.
Hey, I'm telling you right now, Jacksonville will be in the conference championship game against Buffalo.
Damn.
Put something on it.
I don't bet.
Yeah, it's a nasty habit.
I don't even do the $2 parlays or none of that shit, bro.
I used to. I'm not gonna lie. I used to do it last year, and I saw myself getting addicted, and I was like, I gotta stop. Stop.
You can't, bro. Like, yeah. I feel like the same way with betting. It's the same way with that's why I don't do fantasy football anymore because it makes me watch football differently. I don't know if you guys.
That's true. That's true. But I still think it's fun because I'm still in I'm in a couple of leagues. 2 of them are for money every year. But it's still fun to me. It actually makes me motivated to watch games more. But I see what you're saying. If I have Justin Jefferson, for example, and he's facing against the Giants, I'm rooting for him to succeed. Except they
exactly. That's why for me, I did one pay one. All of the rest ones that I did it on NFL.com when they were free, and I won. I won like 2 of them, and NFL didn't fucking send me dog shit. They didn't say thanks for playing. I was like, yeah, all right, great, thanks.
All right. Last words from the co-host, Kush.
Go get a haircut,
show.
right?
You know what? The Vikings beat the Giants. I'll get a haircut. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to all y'all for tuning in. It was a good show. Y'all know me. I got the Giants beating the Chiefs in the Super Bowl and winning it. I also have us.
I don't know what's
the
worse. I don't know what's worse.
I also have us beating the Eagles.
If the Vikings
unlike
win,
Kid Blue.
If the Vikings win, you get a haircut. If the Giants win, you shave your mustache and your beard off.
Why would I do something negative if the Giants win?
That's not negative.
He said, "How is that?"
How's that a negative?
Okay.
Hey.
And the stream.
Cheers, buddy.
All right, guys, we out of here. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back next week for either a crying stream or we're gonna be yelling all over the place on Kush's stream. So, I don't know who's streaming. Who's streaming this game?
That's a good question because I had an idea.
You're actually gonna stream the game?
I was gonna say I had an idea. I had an idea.
I don't know if I couldn't do that.
That's what I was saying. I was about to say, KB. Like I might be like so
too
hyped.
into it.
Like I don't even know if I'll be able to call it. What I was thinking is I'll probably just sub the camera. It will be more of a reaction stream more to me actually calling something, like me sitting on the couch watching it. Maybe to have a couple friends over, but like
okay.
I don't know if I'd have the mindset to actually call a game.
Yeah,
you know what
I know. I probably am gonna still go live for it, but we'll see.
If you go live, let me know, and like you'll just have me kind of reacting.
Oh,
more
bet. Yeah, you could be there if you bring friends too. It doesn't matter, but.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Well, we're either gonna be crying or extremely happy. So,
fingers crossed that we win the coin toss and we defer.
Yes. All right, guys. We out of here. Bye.